The US military used AI to launch strikes against over 2,000 targets in Iran. There was no human oversight, no double checking to make sure the targets AI picked were actually legitimate targets. No, just automated airstrikes. 2,000 munitions against 2,000 targets, all in a span of just 96 hours. And all of it via AI. And not just any AI model. No, it was specifically Grok AI, the AI model of Elon Musk and X. I suppose you don't get to the point of becoming a trillionaire without a few horribly unethical business practices. This is the AI model the US military used in over 2,000 instances to attack Iran. And this has been confirmed by the DOJ in a legal briefing seen Tuesday by the Associated Press. What's this legal briefing about, you might be wondering? Well, Grok is being sued by the NAACP for violating the Clean Air Act for operating gas turbines that power its AI data centers without permits in majority black neighborhoods. And the US government is arguing that this violation of environmental law should be allowed to continue because apparently the facility is essential to national security. They revealed the extent of XAI's role in US military operations so they could continue to environmentally disenfranchise black communities here at home, all while murdering civilians overseas. Part of their defense included Pentagon AI Chief Cameron Stanley's testimony that Grok is utilized within Project Maven, the military's targeting initiative. Project Maven is the same initiative under which the Menab school bombing occurred, so that should give you some insight into the efficacy of these programs, considering the US first denied this attack, then blamed Iran, and then ultimately called it a targeting failure based on old intel. And yet Stanley still praised the Maven initiative and credited the greatly increased operational efficiency made possible by the Grok government model. Because efficacy, accuracy, civilian life, whether at home or abroad, it really doesn't matter to the government or to profit-hungry moguls like Elon Musk, does it? Israeli Twitter is in an uproar after a pro-Israel fan was removed from SoFi Stadium by FIFA security for bringing an Israeli flag to the Iran-New Zealand match. And he tried to argue a double standard that if his Israeli flag had to be removed, then the Palestinian flag behind him should also be removed. We're being treated unfairly. This is anti-Semitism. Why is the Palestinian flag allowed to remain when the Israeli flag has to leave? I'll give you a very simple answer. It's because Palestine isn't the one that was just bombing Iran. Given the last, 100 days of geopolitical tension between Iran and Israel, bringing an Israeli flag to an Iranian game is inherently threatening. An Israeli flag at an Iranian game is an inherently political and inflammatory statement. And FIFA maintains a long-standing policy of banning political messaging at its tournament events. That's why the pre-revolutionary lion and sun flag has been banned as well. These major political flashpoints and rising tensions become a safety issue at FIFA games. I mean, imagine you bring an Israeli flag and you get your ish rocked by an Iranian fan who lost family members in the Israeli bombings of Tehran, of the Menab school. It's a safety issue because y'all made it a safety issue. If you weren't bombing participant countries, maybe your flag would have been allowed.
America lost the Iran war, and the deal that's just been signed at the G7 in France confirms it. We now know that this deal lifts US sanctions on Iran, gives Iran access to $25 billion that is currently frozen in overseas accounts, promises a further $300 billion in reconstruction funds, and lifts the American blockade of Iran's ports. Okay, it does also reopen the Strait of Hormuz, which will avert potentially catastrophic damage to the world economy. And yes, it does also commit Iran to further talks on ending its nuclear program. But the strait was open before the war started, and Iran was negotiating over its nukes as well. When Trump began this war, his aims were clear: topple the regime, degrade its military, end its support for proxies, end its ballistic missile program, and ensure it never gets a nuke. This deal achieves none of those things. Iran's regime is more hardline than ever, and it has just been given one hell of a financial lifeline. It will no doubt use that money to start rebuilding its military and missiles, and to fund its proxies. And perhaps most importantly, Iran has learned that it can outlast and outmaneuver the US when it comes to negotiations. I rather suspect these nuclear talks will go nowhere very slowly. If that's not losing, then I would like to know what is.